Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Tracy and I'm part of the Scribe support team. Today I'm going to be covering templates on Scribe. As ever, we have an extensive help menu for all features within Scribe, and the easiest way to find most of these can be accessed by clicking onto the blue banner at the top with the question mark and then dropping down to our help. From the knowledge base that opens up, you'll be able to see our feature guide. The feature guide can be useful because it displays the same menu items that you're used to seeing within Scribe. For templates, this is within the CRM menu item. Clicking onto here, we've now got access to the templates. Within the templates help document that we have here are step-by-step instructions with a video and everything that you need that will be covered within this session. So let's go back to accounts and take a look at these. Templates themselves are specific to each product, so whilst the building and the customization of the templates is very similar, how they're used can vary. So we're going to head to our CRM menu and then drop down to templates. The templates displays the system templates, and you'll see the standard list view that you're familiar with in Scribe. We've got the document or template name at the top. Whether or not it's automated, as we can see the bookings are automatic, and then the medium, which includes either email, SMS or documents. As with any list view, you can sort the columns by the individual headers. So by clicking onto document template, we can see that it's now putting it in reverse alphabetical order. So beginning with the accounts one, first I'm going to use my actions and clear list settings to get rid of the list view that I previously had. You should now recognise some of the template titles. So we've got here the ones for accounts such as purchase orders and sending of invoices. We're going to take a look at the sending an invoice to start off with. So by using the three vertical dots on the right hand side, I'm going to come in and edit this template. Please note that system templates cannot be overwritten. So the very first thing that you need to do is to create a custom template name. So I'm going to come up to the name here and backspace out the word system, and then you can pop in your own name. So this might be my Scribe Training Council. You can use anything that you want to identify this name. Once you've created your name, we can now start editing the template to customize it for yourself. We've got a rich text editor, so you get access to this toolbar where you can change various editing tools such as the formatting of the text itself. We've also got the format menu here where you've still got the formatting for the text, the regular different alignments that you can see here, text color and background color as well. As the facility here, we can insert pictures, we can also insert tables, and we can insert hyperlinks as well. As an example, I'm going to customize my name here at the bottom by popping it into bold and adding an HTML link as well. So coming down here, we're going to have kind regards, and I'm going to put in my name here from Scribe Support. So once I've added that in, I'm going to change the font here by clicking onto this, coming down to the formatting. I'm going to make this bold. I'm also going to change the colour of it, so we can come down again to here, coming into the formatting and changing the different blocks and alignments and colours. So having made it bold, I'm going to come back here and also change the colour. Possibly now I can make this into blue. And I'm also going to pop it into italics. Further, I'm going to add an HTML link so that I can pop that in to my web address for hello@scribeaccounts.com and save that. The next thing I might do is add a logo into the header of my template. So I'm just going to create some additional space at the top here. And then I'm going to insert a picture. I can upload that from my system, so I can go ahead and choose my Scribe logo. Pop that in, click on to save. It's appeared in the top left at the moment, so again, using the formatting, I'm going to align that so that it comes across to the right-hand side of the screen. Now I'm happy with that, maybe create a tiny bit more space. I popped in my logo, I formatted my name by adding an HTML link as well. Now I might want to add in some additional merge tags. The templates themselves support dynamic content, which is a bit like a mail merge on Microsoft Word. You have access to the merge tags related to the record. So this will be things like the invoice data that we've got here. So we've got the invoice order number and the invoice total. But you've also got general information such as the council address and the customer names. So maybe underneath my council name here, I'm going to pop in my council address. So coming up to the merge tags themselves, I can see various different basic information here. So I've got the customer name, first name, address, the invoice number, the description, etc. Individual items about the invoice itself, additional details, and here is where I've got the council. I've already got the name. I'm going to pop in my council address now. You can further attach any files that you want to. So this would be anything specific that you want for this particular template. Customizing the invoice template, then clicking onto this actual word invoice here allows you to include the invoice when it's solid blue. If you want to exclude it, clicking onto it again when it's white means that it will not be uploaded before sending. It is also worth noticing that when you send the emails themselves, you've also got the ability to upload a further file on send and creation. So once I'm happy with all of the customization on that, I'm going to click on to save, and it's going to allow me to preview my changes and make sure that I'm happy with the template. So here I'm going to click on to one of my invoices that I've already created. I can see that I've got that title there. It's pulling in the invoice title, the invoice number, the invoice value. That header logo that I put in is there. Dear Jack Smith has come through, and obviously I've got that HTML link, which I can see in the bottom left-hand corner there, sending it to me at hello@scribeaccounts.com. Obviously, if I'm completely happy with that, I can then click on to confirm and save, and that's uploaded that template for me. Once I'm happy with my template, I can then go and send those emails with that template that I've created. So I need to go back to my sales invoices, so click onto my transactions and sales invoices menu. And then once they appear, I've got the ability to either send them individually by clicking onto the 3 vertical dots and selecting send email. Here is where I get to choose the template, so the system one is always selected by default, but that one that I created at the bottom, along with any others that I've created, here I've got my send STC one, so we can see it's now popped in that customized template that I've built. So to put my logo here in the top right hand corner, I've obviously got that email address there with the HTML link, the council name and council address, as well as including a copy of the invoice. If I want to preview that, of course, I can still look at it. Provided I'm okay, I can click on to OK and then click on to send. Of course, that's just sending them individually. You can also send these out in bulk. So you do that this time by clicking onto the Actions button and then sending the email. Here you then have the ability to select all of the individual recipients that you wish to send the email to. Clicking on to send email, you now have a recipients list. And again, we can change that template from the system to the send STC one, where we can then go ahead and send that out to everybody. So that's sending the emails. The next thing that we want to have a look at is our document templates. So heading back once again to our CRM menu and our templates. The documents themselves look very similar to the ones that we've had for the email templates. It's just obviously with these ones you get the ability to actually download that document. So you can either download it and print it if required, save it to a PDF, save it to Word, or email it as well. So this is my invoice letter that I've actually created as one of the document templates. And we're going to look at how we use these by moving back again to our sales invoices. So heading back to my transactions menu and to my sales invoices, rather than using the send email this time, I'm going to use the download document. So by clicking on the 3 vertical dots on the right hand side, I can then download the document here. So I've got the sales invoices document, which is the system one that's been generated. Here is that invoice letter that I've already created myself. So we can see here the invoice has come together, the letter that I've popped together is here, and I now have 2 choices. I can either export this to a PDF or I can export it to Word. I'm going to export this one as a PDF, so I can download it as a single PDF, and when we look at the bulk one, we can do it as separate ones as well. So this is going to be a single one, so it's downloaded that for me. We can see that it's whirling around in the background here at the moment, and my invoice has now been downloaded in the top right-hand corner. So here we can see the letter that I've popped together, and that's ready to either again be downloaded or printed or sent off. Heading back, of course, we might want to do this in bulk. So this is where it's really going to save you time if you've got a lot of letters or mail merges to put together. So rather than using the 3 vertical dots and then downloading the document, this time we're going to use the Actions button in the top right-hand corner and download the document so that we can send it to multiple invoice holders. So here, if I wanted to send one out to everybody for that mail merge, I can obviously click onto all of my individual ones. It might take a little while for that to pop together, so I'm just going to click onto half a dozen now. Downloading the document, again, I've got that ability to choose which letter or which document template that I want, and again, exporting that to PDF or Word. On the last one, we looked at exporting to PDF. This time we're going to look at exporting it to Word. I'm going to download this as one single Word document, which means with my mail merge, I can then obviously print all of the letters out in one go. I have also got that ability to download it as separate Word documents, and then you can print them out individually. But usually people like to put these all together so that they can just be sent to the printer once. So here's my document. So I've got the first one that's going off. It's doing that mail merge across to Jack Smith. Then I've got the next one that's going to Jane Smith, and so forth with the rest of all of my documents. So the next one we're going to move on to then is bookings. So using the account switcher at the top, I'm going to switch from accounts into bookings. As mentioned at the beginning with templates, they're customised in a similar way to accounts, but the emails for bookings are actually sent automatically. So if we head to the CRM menu and click on to templates within bookings, I'm just going to pull these all together so we get the bookings ones to the top of the system, and we can see underneath the automation here that all of these are set to true. This means you still need to name the template if you want to customize it for yourself, but you won't actually select it as we selected the individual templates when we either sent those emails or sent the documents out as we did in accounts. Therefore, you can only have one custom template in each area of bookings. So rather than where you've got all of the system ones here for bookings confirmed, bookings cancelled, etc., you'll be able to create the individual ones, but they'll just be one. So I'd recommend in that case that you rename them to bookings custom. So I've created one here for my bookings provisional custom. So this is my email document, and we can take a look at what I've done in there. So let's pulled it together. Slightly different from the original one, in that I've obviously popped through my different council name and council address at the bottom there. As I said, they work in exactly the same way, but it will be dependent on how you've actually popped your settings in the system. So if you want to experiment with these actual emails, so this is my provisional bookings one at the moment, then I'd suggest that you set yourself up as a test customer so that you can view the emails that are being sent to you and obviously delete that booking once you're happy with it. Just do remember that the bookings notifications, emails and SMS messages are set depending on both the settings in your account and council profile. So if we come down to account and council profile, you've set up those messages depending on whether they're going out with the email or SMS when the booking status changes, for booking reminders, and whether they need to be sent out each time or only when it changes. You've also got the individual set up within each individual venue. So when you've clicked onto those venues, as we scroll down here, you'll have set the settings for the bookings for the public website to say whether it's going to be set to an inquiry, to provisional, or to confirmed. So when you are looking at those templates within the CRM menu and going to the templates, then obviously again look to see whether it's confirmed, it's provisional, part paid, etc. from there. Do of course pay particular attention to the actual medium that you've got here when you're looking at the inquiries. These aren't being duplicated for bookings inquiries. One is an email message, one is an SMS, a text. We have actually got a document set up already for bookings, but that's still in development at the moment, so you can ignore this one for now. So finally, we're going to switch over to allotments. So once again, I'm going to head back to the switcher at the top and go into allotments. Heading into the CRM and templates again, you can obviously have numerous templates for allotments. So this is where you really need to be mindful of which area you want to send that email from. Is it from the tenants list view? Is it from the waiting list view? Is it from the inspections list view? Or is it from the notices themselves? So let's take a look first at the tenants one. So I've got a number of ones on display here. So I just need to filter so that I can see them all in one screen. And I've got here one that is the tenant system document email. So if I want to customize this one, again, obviously I need to backspace out the tenant and pop that in as either custom or let's say that I want to send all of my invoices from allotments rather than from invoices. So I need to add an alternative template from here rather than just using the standard system document, which in this case has only got the email and possibly an attached file for the tenancy agreement. But this time I'm going to look at actually having one for an invoice as well. So I'm going to call this one tenant invoice, so I know that it's for the ones that I'm sending the invoices out to. Anything that I want to add in on here again will be exactly the same. So if you're adding in those logos, you can come up to here and upload your images, customizing anything as you so wish. Of course, at the bottom here as well, if you want to carry on and upload a copy of that invoice, at the moment it's not there, so it's a white background behind it. Clicking on to invoice will enable you to upload that. So make sure you're happy with all of the wording, all of the customizations, adding in the tags, formatting the text as you so wish. Do then click on to save to edit that one. I'm not going to click on to save because I've already created one already for my invoice. Coming down again to my tenant's invoice that I've already created, we can see here I've done one for tenant send invoice. So this is my customized one. I can see again that I've already got that invoice sitting there already. So in order to send that, I'd be going back to my tenants area of the screen. So coming on to the tenants area, if I now want to sort of send out that invoice to John Smith here and Mr. Daniels together because they've been sent together, I'm going to use the actions button and the send email to both of those from here. So clicking into both Mr. Daniels and Mr. Smith, wherever he was, and sending the email out. I've got it to the recipient list. I don't want the tenant system because it doesn't include the invoice. I want the tenant invoice one that I've already created. So it's going to update that letter. It's also going to include that invoice. So I can go ahead on bulk and obviously send this out to 1, 2, multiple, 300 people at one time. Going back and looking at those templates, I've obviously created a number here. So we've got the original tenant system one. I've got one here for a key code for sending it out to people if there's a key code to get into the allotment, and further ones here again for sort of hanging baskets, health and safety. You might have another one on sort of water bans, etc. as well. Do again be mindful of these template lists and how they're created. So these are just showing those tenant ones or the ones that I've created from the tenants system template. If I wanted to go and have a look at some of the ones that are created for, let's say, inspections and notices, heading back to the CRM menu and to the templates, then again, I've got the ones that are either titled inspection. So this is inspection system. This is one of the ones that I've customized. And similarly, coming down to the either the waiting list or the notices, I've then got the individual notice ones that have been set up on the system here. Again, they're all available in different areas of the system. So if I come down to my tasks and my inspections, if I now go to send the email that I was looking at previously, those ones that I'd created for tenants are no longer here. It's just those inspection ones that we can see. Of course, you can also add templates completely from scratch. So coming back into your CRM menu and to the templates, you have got the ability to simply click onto the plus to generate a new template. If you are creating it from here, then as well as creating the name, you must then choose the medium which it's applicable to, the SMS messages, the email, or the document. So I'm going to choose here document, and then the model as well. So where do you want to see this template? From within the tenants list view, the waiting list view, the inspection list view, or the notices list view. We still obviously find that many allotment holders don't have an email address, so this is where for both invoicing and document download in bulk can be particularly useful. We've already looked at bulk downloading for documents, but if we wanted to bulk download all 300 of our allotment invoices, we'd first need to actually switch to accounts to do so. So if you've already created all of those invoices, if you have a big long list here with all of those invoices generated, but you actually need to sort of print 50 or so of them, the first thing that we would need to do would be to switch back into the accounts module. Going into the accounts module, heading to our transactions and sales invoices, we can then use the customized filters to search for just those ones that have come from allotments and just those invoices that we need to be able to download. Don't forget you've got the columns of option here where you can choose the source. So by applying that on to my list view, once Scribe catches up, I'll be able to see those that have come from allotments, those that have come from cemetery, etc. through from there. So if you brought them all together so that you've just got the individual allotments, possibly again by using the filter to say where they've come from, you can then use the actions button in the top right hand corner and download the selected invoices. So you can then come through and obviously select if you're going through these individually to find all of the ones for allotments. I'm not going to worry about all of the individual ones here as this is just a test exercise, but I can then download those invoices together. That's going to pop them into a PDF file, which I can then open up. So I've just chosen 2 so far for this demonstration. So I've got one here for John Smith and then the next one for Mr. Daniel. So these are all now in that one PDF file, ready for you to send them directly to the printer.